want?
Free Rasmea!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Free Rasmea!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Free Rasmea!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Free Rasmea!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Drop the charges!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Drop the charges!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Drop the charges!
When do we want it?
Now!
You're holding a sign about hands-off Palestinian solidarity activists. Could you explain what the demonstration is about?
Yes, there's it seems to be a trend of U.S. government harassment, FBI harassment against activists, especially in the Palestinian community. Recently, there was a woman, Palestinian woman in Detroit named Rasmea Odeh, who was being charged with lying on immigration forms over 20 years ago, allegedly lying on them. And this is a woman who had been tortured by the Israeli Defense Forces, 45 years ago. Is a victim of torture, and these are kind of trumped up charges based on her activity in the Palestinian solidarity movement. This has been going on for a while now. In Chicago, the FBI has been harassing the Palestinian community, interviewing, or interrogating Palestinians at their places of work. And, we're out here to say that the charges against Rasmea are bogus and they should be dropped, and that the harassment of the Palestinian community and the activist community also needs to end right now.
So, Layla, why did you come to this rally today?
I'd like to consider myself an activist when it comes to injustices happening in Palestine. This past semester, for the first time, I started a Students for Justice in Palestine group at my campus in U of UConn in West Hartford. We never had one before, so we just got that started. And I heard about the rally today, and Rasmea is from Palestine, and the trial is about her. And so me and my brother here decided that it would be in our best interest to come to the rally and maybe notify passerbyers of, what's happening with the trial and everything like that.
You're not Palestinian yourself, so how did you get interested in this cause?
I'm not Palestinian, but I hear about the injustices. I have a lot of Palestinian friends. I'm not necessarily Muslim. I have Christian friends that live in Palestine currently as well, so it's not about religion. I just know that there are injustices happening there for an array of reasons, and I just I got interested because it's not, nobody likes to hear that fellow human beings are being antagonized, their houses are being bulldozed, and nobody wants to hear that, whether it be from Palestine, Syria, any country in the world. So that's how I became interested in human rights with Palestine specifically. And also, a lot of the injustices aren't brought to light as well, and I believe that they should be.
Mike, why did you come up today for this demonstration?
All of us need to be together to end the oppression, profiling of Palestinians in America, and we simultaneously need to speak out against the oppression of the Palestinians in the occupied territories. I was there for 10 days at the end of March. What I saw was just shattering to me. I grew up in the Jewish faith. I continue to value the Jewish faith and the traditions, but what they've been doing to the Palestinians, to me, is a total contradiction of the Jewish faith. It's time for Jewish people to stop the oppression and reclaim their identity.
Now, the federal government says she broke the law. She incorrectly filled out her immigration application. What do you think about that?
It's a totally frivolous and bogus allegation. She was tortured. It's horribly difficult, for someone, who left Palestine, under those conditions, to write down some of those things that happened. Enough is enough.
I think it's more important than ever for people of faith orientations and the citizens of our country to rise up and be voices for those who are suffering from injustice wherever they might be. And in this particular instance, where we see somebody who is part of the wider occupation issues that people in Israel and Palestine are suffering from, I think it's very important for us, the average citizen, to come out and be a voice for justice.
Now, the church that you're associated with in Old Lyme, the Congregational Church, has done a lot in terms of the Palestinian and Israeli issues. And I understand a person who spoke numerous times at the church has had one of his whole orchards destroyed. Could you talk about that?
Yeah, our church has a very close friendship with Daoud Nasser, who is he's the founder of an organization called Tent of Nations, and they have a farm that has been deeded to them from the Ottoman days, and they're surrounded by settlements, and they're unable to build anything above ground, so they do a lot of their operation underground. We've had the honor of every year that we go over there planting more olive trees in their orchard, so that there's now what's called a Tree of Life orchard. And we were deeply saddened to learn that just recently the IDF came in and bulldozed 1,500 of those olive trees and almond trees. And I think for every tragedy like this, there's a silver lining, in that I think that it's helped to wake up the international community to the fact that this is done. And I would suspect...
Is there a lot of attention to it internationally?
Yeah, the interfaith community within this country and around the world has risen to the challenge, and I think that there will be a collective effort to replant all those trees. And this helps to highlight the kind of indignity and inhumanity that takes place, not just at Tent of Nations, but every day, affecting our Palestinian friends.